to your right, you might see an okapi hiding back there. The okapi have sort of zebra-looking stripes on their hind legs, but they're actually the closest known relative of the giraffe. They share some similar features, like the same long prehensile tongue. The okapi were not discovered by the Western world until 1901. Now that is good camouflage. Looking to your right and to your left, you're going to see these tall, tawny-colored antelope, the greater kudu. Must be female kudu. We know that because they don't have any horns. Only male kudu have horns. Looking up to the hill on your right, you can see a large black and white bird up there. It's the saddle-billed stork, the tallest stork here in Africa. He stands about 5 feet tall and has an impressive wingspan of approximately 9 feet across. The saddle-billed stork gets its name from the uniquely saddle-shaped shield on its bill. It rattles this shield back and forth as a way to communicate. Ah, here's another one. Looks like a female, pretty tough to tell from afar, but once you get up close, you can look at the color of their eyes. Females have yellow eyes, the males have dark brown eyes. Way up on top of the hill to the left, I see a black rhino up there. The black rhino weighs about 3,000 pounds, and it can run up to 35 miles per hour. Really fast for an animal with no natural predators. Its only predators are human. In fact, the black rhino have been poached so extensively for their horns that there are less than 5,000 left. Speaking of endangered species, take a look nice and close to you on the left. You're going to be able to see a bongo, a whole herd of bongo. Their numbers are falling as quickly as the trees, as deforestation takes over their natural habitat. That's why young herds like this one are so important to the species' survival. You can do your part to help the bongo by making sure to reduce, reuse, and recycle your paper products. We're going to leave the forest now and go to the river, Safi River. And here in Safi River, we are looking for the Nile hippopotamus. Now, hippo like to spend most of their day in the water, and they can stay underwater for about 8 minutes at a time. So while we look for hippos today, know that we might be looking for shadows in the water, or even an ear or an eye peeping up above. See the shadow of a hippo out to our right, perhaps even 2. Oh, but if you look to the left, I see a whole bloat of hippo in the water. That's what a big group of hippo is called, a bloat. The large gray birds on the island are the pink-backed pelicans. They get their name from a pink coloration that appears during mating season. And they're very social birds. They like to nest in large groups. During nesting, both the females and the males are going to help take care of the eggs. Pink-backed pelicans are one of the only pelican species known to make their nests in trees. Take a look to the left. You can see a hippo enjoying this cooler weather this morning. They're out on the shore. Now, we're going to cross Mamba Bridge in just a moment. As we do, look down to the left. See if you can figure out what mamba means in Swahili. Mamba means crocodile. And these are the Nile crocodile. They weigh up to 700 pounds and grow to approximately 16 feet long. If you ever see a crocodile with their mouth open, they're not smiling at you. They're actually helping to regulate their body temperature. Here on the reserve, we have several different ecosystems. We are about to explore the grasslands, also known as the Savannah. And out on the Savannah, we are looking for herd animals. Those are animals that travel together in large groups. So go ahead, take a look at your spotting guide, start brainstorming. What animals do you think might travel in large groups? Zebras, elephants, wildebeest, giraffe, antelope. Hopefully we're going to have a chance to see all sorts of different herd animals. So if you haven't gotten your camera out already, this is the time. We never really know what's going to be hiding in the tall grass out here on the savannah. We're not going to be able to stop for every animal we see. We do have some animals that are new to us here on the reserve. We have some baby animals out here today. So there might be a time where we have to go slowly or quietly instead of stopping to take a picture. Of course, the animals don't usually stop for us, so if you have a high shutter speed on your camera, go ahead, turn it on now. Looking over your right shoulder and out to your right as we come forward, you're going to see arguably the most famous herd animals, the white-bearded wildebeest. Over 1.5 million wildebeest will migrate 500 to 1,000 miles every single year. Also out to the right, I'm sure you've already spotted those really big horns. These horns belong to the Ankole cattle, also known as Watusi cattle, after the first tribe to domesticate them. Now their horns, they look big, they look heavy, but they're actually pretty light. They have a honeycomb-like structure inside, and as their blood pumps through their horns, it helps to cool them down. Acts like their own personal air conditioning system. Looking to the left is a den of some sort. We'll keep our eyes peeled for animals in the area. In fact, if you look to the other side of the den, I do believe I see a pack of painted dogs. Painted dogs are incredibly family-oriented. If one of their pack is ill or injured, they won't move on, they won't migrate till that one is healed and ready to go. A pack of painted dogs can have anywhere from 5 to 15 dogs, and they're led by an alpha male and an alpha female. Speaking of girl power, look out to the left, you're going to see the sable antelope, emblem of the Harambe Wildlife Reserve, and led by a matriarch, a female antelope in charge. Also on your left, you can see a couple of Hartman's mountain zebra. Each zebra has a stripe pattern unique to them, sort of like human fingerprints. When they're born, baby mountain zebra imprint on their mama, memorizing her unique stripe pattern and nursing only from her. Scattered across the savannah, you'll see these large reddish-gray mounds. These are the termite mounds. They're made of dirt. Termites spit and excrement, and they stay out in the sun for days, weeks at a time. And the sun hardens them till they're as tough as concrete. These termite mounds are so hard, an elephant could use it as a scratching post. Looking to the left, you can see a tower of giraffe. That's what a group of giraffe is called, a tower. Pretty aptly named, since they tower above us all, about 20 feet in the air. You can see, though, in the tower a couple little baby giraffes. Of course, I call these girls little. When they're born, giraffes are already about 6 feet tall. As we come around the bend to the right, you're going to see again those white-bearded wildebeest, the Ankole cattle, a giraffe back there, but you're also going to see this really big antelope. You see him walking away? That's the largest antelope on the reserve, Patterson's eland. He's the alpha male eland. He stands 6 feet at the shoulder. He weighs 2,000 pounds, and we know he's the alpha because he has the biggest dewlap. He has a flap of skin between his chin and his chest. It's called a dewlap. He's in charge because he has the biggest and flabbiest. Take a look, very interesting to see a giraffe with their head below their chest like this. She won't keep her head down there for too long down there, and she'll pass out. Because giraffes have the highest blood pressure of any living land mammal. A normal blood pressure reading for a giraffe is about 300 over 200. It takes a lot of work to pump their blood all the way up those tall, tall necks. Luckily, they have a heart that's over 2 feet long, so it's well up to the task. You'll notice the things jutting out the top of the giraffe's heads. They're not horns. They're called ossicones. Ossicones are a protrusion of hardened cartilage attached to the skull, covered by skin and little tufts of fur. Oftentimes on young male giraffe, you'll see the fur on top of their ossicones has been rubbed away. That's because they engage in a dominance behavior called necking, whereupon they hit the top of their ossicones against each other's necks and chests. Looking out to the right, I see some very small cinnamon-colored antelopes in between the trees. These are the springbuck, the national animals of South Africa. One of the smallest antelope on the reserve. They stand only about 3 feet tall and weigh, fully grown, about 100 pounds. We're coming up to a watering hole on the right. Watering holes are great places for animals to gather. Animals of all shapes and sizes need to visit the watering hole at one point or another. So we'll take a look. As we enter, look to the left. See if you can find the mandrills. Mandrills are the world's largest monkey. This looks like the alpha male sitting atop the rock there. You might be able to see a couple of females in the middle. You can really see the size contrast. Alpha male mandrill, he's about 100 pounds. The females are only about 30 or 40 pounds. Of course, if you're looking for someone much larger, just look out to your right. You're going to see an African elephant. Probably a male elephant, given his size and the fact that he's hanging out all by himself. Male elephants, they tend to be solitary creatures. Oh. Well, says the road into elephant country is closed. I guess we're taking a picture from here. Although, if you ask me, the road does not look closed. It looks washed out with all the rain we've been having. It happens sometimes here in Africa. Don't worry. We have another way into elephant country. We'll go around. It takes a little bit longer, but hopefully we'll be able to find some more elephants, maybe even a whole herd of elephants. There are some good signs. After all, male elephants, they tend to come in close proximity with the herd during mating season. And just up ahead of us here, we're coming into the red clay pits. Elephants eat red clay. It's full of essential minerals, and it's an important part of their diet. So we'll look for any sign of the elephants, footprints maybe, or tusk marks on the right. Those look really fresh. Oh, look out to the left, everyone. I think we've discovered the herd. Now, a herd of elephants is made up of females and their young. So, mama elephants and baby elephants. Female elephants will be pregnant for approximately 22 months. At the end of their nearly 2-year pregnancy, they give birth to a calf that weighs up to 300 pounds. Male elephants are going to stay with mom and the herd for about 15 years. It's the longest adolescence in the animal kingdom. Longest with the exception of humans. Through research with the Disney Conservation Fund, we've discovered that elephants don't like the sound of bees. For whatever reason, the buzzing scares them off, turns them away. So we've been working with farmers out here in Africa to help set up beehive fences around their farms. It's a safe way to keep the elephants out of the crops, and it gives the farmers a second source of income, getting to bottle and sell that honey. You can see the elephants using their trunks for a myriad of things. An elephant's trunk has over 100,000 individual muscles. On the island on the left, you can see a flamboyance of flamingo. These are the greater flamingo. They stand up to 5 feet tall, and they get their famous pink color from what they eat. They eat tiny brine shrimp, and those tiny brine shrimp are full of beta-carotene. Over the years, all that beta-carotene turns them pink. When they're born, they're more of a light gray color. Looks like we have a warden's outpost coming up on our left. And they must have just caught some poachers and confiscated their loot. Even on protected reserves like this one, we're not always safe from well-funded and very determined poachers. If you look to the left, you'll see some of the animals we are desperately trying to protect. Those are the scimitar horned oryx. 50 years ago, the oryx were considered extinct in the wild, found only on reserves and in private collections. However, in the past few years, the Disney Conservation Fund has teamed up with global partners to help release a herd of oryx into their native deserts of Chad. This herd has been very successful in reproducing, so we're hopeful for the species' continued survival. To the left is what the locals refer to as Duma Ridge. Duma means cheetah in Swahili. They can be tough to spot, but do you see that one walking away from us over there? Oh, there's 2 of them. Cheetah are the world's fastest living land animals. They run about 70 miles per hour. However, they can only keep this speed up for a short period of time, more like a sprint. Then they have to stop and rest again. See a couple more cheetah resting down here. Cheetah also have non-retractable claws. It means their claws are always out, ready to grip the ground for those short, fast sprints. Up ahead of us is a copie, a large collection of rocks, and a good place to look for lions. But I don't think we have to look too hard. We even see that bit of a male lion's mane just peeping up there. We know it's a male because of his big, beautiful mane. It weighs about 40 pounds, and it will get darker as he gets older. You can see him laying down on the rocks there. Looks like perhaps a couple of females out there as well. No surprise that we find them sleeping. Lions are inactive up to 20 hours out of the day. Means they spend most of their day sleeping and resting. They're most active at night. That's when the females go out hunting. Male lion, he stays home and protects his cubs. Like our cats at home, lions have that sandpapery, sort of rough-feeling tongue. However, unlike the common house cat, the papillae on a lion's tongue are so sharp, they can take the meat off of a bone. Looks like we have some very large burrows on the left. Oh, I bet they belong to those warthogs. You see them laying down on the other side of the log?
Oh, yeah.
They kind of look like hairy gray rocks, except for the fact that they're breathing. Warthogs go into their burrows with their tusks out. Their tusks are very sharp, so it's a good way to ward off predators. Looking out to the right, I do see some eggs on the ground. Looks like ostrich eggs. They weigh about 3 pounds each. Each one is equivalent to approximately 24 chicken eggs. Communal nests like that one are pretty common. They're called dump nests. And they can have anywhere from 6 to 60 eggs at a time. So that was a fairly small communal nest. The Harambe Wildlife Reserve was founded in 1971, and it encompasses over 800 square miles. entering now the newest part of our reserve, Magadi Glen. The Glen, here on the outskirts, is home to our warden's post. Now the warden's post is home to the domesticated Nigerian dwarf goats. The warden and her team raise the goats here because the milk they give is very nutritious and it's highly valued. So by having them here, we help the villagers rely a little bit less on the wildlife on the reserve. Nigerian dwarf goats are also very good for their environment. They're able to eat roots of plants and weeds that a lot of other livestock can't digest. Well, my friends, it looks like we are coming to the end of our safari. But if you're here with us in Harambe for the rest of the day, it doesn't have to be the end of seeing animals. You can head on over to the Forest Exploration Trail, also known as Gorilla Falls. There you'll have a chance to see those critically endangered western lowland gorillas. Here at Kilimanjaro Safari, we are working really closely with the Disney Conservation Fund to help protect and preserve the animals of Africa. If you'd like to help, you can make a contribution. And know that Disney will match that contribution dollar for dollar to help the animals we saw today. For all my wilderness explorers who've been riding on the Simba 1, check out page 15 of your handbook. Simba 1 is your code word.